Have you ever noticed how a tiny problem can completely ruin your day, making you feel like the whole world is falling apart? You might drop your morning cup of coffee or get a slightly rude text message, and suddenly everything feels unbearable. It feels like a dark cloud is following you. But then you look around and see people going through massive hardships, facing huge losses, yet they handle everything with a calm smile. They don't break down. Why does this happen? Is life just unfair, or is there a secret to handling our daily pain? Today, I want to share a powerful story with you. It will show you exactly how to stop worrying and start living a better, calmer life. Listen closely, because this isn't just a story to pass the time, it is a deep reflection of our own daily struggles. Once, there was a young man named Ryan. Ryan was going through a very tough phase. No matter what he did, he felt incredibly unhappy with his life. He was always feeling down, carrying around a heavy weight on his shoulders from the moment he woke up until he finally went to sleep. Nothing seemed to be going well. He didn't have a job, and the pressure from his family was growing day by day. Every time he thought about his future, a wave of fear would wash over him. One afternoon, looking for a way to escape his spinning thoughts, Ryan walked down to a small, quiet cafe in his town. He ordered a simple cup of tea and sat in the corner, staring blankly out the window. His mind was loud, full of worry and endless complaints about how unfair the world was being to him. At the table right next to him, 3 older men were sitting together, laughing and sharing stories. Ryan wasn't trying to listen to them, but their voices were clear and steady. One of the older men leaned in and said to his friends, "You know that wise old man who lives in the small wooden house behind the hills? He looks like just a normal person, but his mind is full of deep wisdom. My son was really struggling with his life, completely lost. But after spending just a little time talking to that old man, he changed completely. It's like a heavy burden was lifted off his chest." Another older man nodded warmly and replied, "Yes, people say he can lighten your heart and take away your sadness just by talking to you." Hearing this, Ryan slowly put his teacup down. He became very alert. He thought to himself, "My life is falling apart right now. I feel completely stuck. If this old man really says things that are that helpful, maybe I should go see him. Maybe I can finally feel some peace." Later that evening, as the sun was beginning to set and paint the sky in shades of orange, Ryan packed a small bag and started walking. He quietly made his way towards the back of the tall hills, following the dirt paths, until he reached a very simple, small wooden house. He knocked gently on the door, and the wise old man welcomed him in. Ryan sat down and immediately started pouring his heart out. He said, "Grandpa, I have so many problems in my life. I don't know what to do anymore. I always feel pain, sadness, and frustration. Every little thing bothers me. Please tell me, how can I be happy? How can I stop hurting?" The wise old man sat there and listened carefully to every single word. He didn't interrupt, and when Ryan finished, the old man still didn't say a word. Instead, he simply stood up and walked out the back door of the house. Ryan sat there feeling very confused. He wondered if he had said something wrong, but he decided to wait patiently. After a few long minutes, the old man came back inside. In one hand, he was holding a glass of plain drinking water. In his other hand, he held a small bowl filled to the top with white salt. The old man placed them on the table and looked at Ryan. He said, "Take a handful of salt from this bowl and put it right into the glass of water. Then I want you to drink it." Even though Ryan wasn't sure why he was doing this, he followed the instructions. He grabbed a handful of the salt, dropped it into the small glass, stirred it a bit, and took a big gulp. Instantly, Ryan twisted his face in disgust. He pulled the glass away and coughed. The old man asked gently, "How does the water taste?" Ryan wiped his mouth and said, "It tastes really, really bad. It's incredibly bitter. I can only taste the salt. I can't even swallow it." The old man gave a tiny, knowing smile. Then he said, "Now take another big handful of salt from the bowl and come outside with me."
Ryan grabbed another handful of salt and followed the old man out the door. They walked silently side by side down a small path until they reached a beautiful, wide, and clear lake. The water was perfectly calm, reflecting the trees and the evening sky. The old man pointed to the water and said, "Now, throw the salt in your hand into the lake." Ryan leaned over the edge and tossed the salt into the wide water. It disappeared instantly, sinking to the bottom and mixing with the gentle currents. Then the old man said, "Now cup your hands and take a sip of the lake water." Ryan bent down, gathered some water in his hands, and drank it. The old man looked at him and asked, "How does it taste now?" Ryan looked surprised. His eyes widened a bit as he wiped his face. He said, "It tastes fine. It tastes fresh and sweet. I don't taste any salt at all." The old man smiled brightly, stepped closer, and placed a warm, comforting hand on Ryan's shoulder. If you ever come across a Zen story on patience, you will realize that the lesson the old man shared next is the absolute truth of our lives. The old man said, "Look, son, the pain in our life is exactly like this pure salt. The amount of pain stays the exact same, not too much, not too little. But how much of that pain we actually feel entirely depends on the container we put it into. It depends on how big our heart is. If your heart and your patience are like a small glass, then even a tiny bit of pain will make your whole life bitter. You will taste nothing but the salt. But if you work to make your heart as big as this beautiful lake, even a massive handful of pain won't affect you. The pain will dissolve. You will still be able to taste the sweetness of life." Everyone in this world has problems. There is not a single person alive who doesn't face difficulties or sadness. Just like we cannot truly appreciate a happy moment without knowing what sadness feels like, we also cannot grow without facing hurdles. But if we spend all our time keeping our minds small, stressing over every little drop of salt, we miss out on the beauty of the lake. When you face challenges, do not become small like the glass. Do not let your patience dry up. Instead, become wide and deep like the lake. Accept the salt, let it wash away in your vast waters, and keep moving forward. By keeping your heart open, you naturally make room for true inner peace. When you focus on your own self-improvement rather than complaining about the world, you start a beautiful, lifelong journey of personal growth. This wide mindset is the only way to effectively overcome overthinking when bad things happen. By simply practicing mindfulness every single day, just observing the water of your mind, you gather the genuine motivation needed for finding happiness in simple moments. These kinds of life lessons are so incredibly important for our mental health, and they help us build a permanent foundation of positive thinking no matter how much salt is thrown our way. If this story brought a little peace to your day, or if it helped you see your own struggles in a different light, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We have so many more stories to share with you, stories that can help make your days a little brighter. Stay strong, keep your heart as wide as a lake, and I will see you in the next one.